Welcome to week 6 of Global Business Skills. It's good to have you here. We are really moving along this semester and on to week 6. So this intro video is just to give you a little overview of what's to come this week. So in week 6, we've got some specific objectives. We're going to start talking about Hofstede's cross-cultural dimensions. And those are used frequently in international business. There's people who are really like using those, and there's also been a lot of criticisms of those cross-cultural dimensions. So keep that in mind as you're learning these topics. A lot of people know about them, and they are useful, but of course there are weaknesses too. So as you're reading about them, I hope that you'll draw your own conclusions. Next objective is to identify steps involved in learning about another culture. So far in this class, we've been talking a lot about awareness of your own culture, awareness that you have a culture, others have a culture, those type of things. But how do we learn about another culture? And there's lots of different ways of doing that. And so part of that is learning the vocabulary that you need to know. And Hofstede's dimensions help with that. So those two kind of go together. Objective number 3, we're going to increase our awareness of cross-cultural aspects of doing business. So again, all of this is related to global skills for business. And then objective number 4 is to demonstrate knowledge of methods for discussing cross-cultural dimensions as they relate to the business setting. Okay, so what are we going to be up to this week? We've got some readings and videos, as usual, the course content. There's a slideshow here, there's some textbook reading, and then I've done a short little PowerPoint to give you an overview of Hofstede's cultural dimensions. These are the 4. I also wanted to share with you this website, which can be really helpful, hofstedeinsights.com, in comparing countries. For example, in March, I'm scheduled to travel to Italy. So let's take a look at Italy. It just automatically pops up what the scores are for the different Hofstede dimensions in individualism, in masculinity, uncertainty avoidance, long-term orientation, and you can kind of just get a snapshot of what Hofstede says about those things, and then there's a good description. So I just wanted to point out this resource because it can be very useful to you in your posts for this week if you want to use some of these images, some of these scores as references and resources in your posting. Okay, back to readings and videos. So after you watch my little PowerPoint here, you can listen to Geert Hofstede himself. Geert Hofstede is famous. He's from the Netherlands. He's been around for a long time talking about the impact of culture on business. So I think it's important to hear his words himself and also to keep in mind his own cultural orientation as you're listening. Here's an example of how different cultures interact in business, another video, and then some additional resources here for you to read and refer to. Okay, so that's the readings and videos for week 6. Then we'll have a graded discussion about Hofstede's dimensions. So again, as you're finding resources to reference, you can use that website I told you about, Hofstede Insights, or other references you might find. There's a lot out there on this. And then here we're going to have an assignment that will be due on March 1st about Hofstede's PowerPoint questions, and to post some questions from slide 18 of the slide share that you saw in the readings. Here's another link to that. And then, of course, there's the quiz over the content. So I hope you enjoy this week, and I will talk to you at the beginning of next week. Have a great week.